obviously, post number 25, Texas coaches Paul has not come out yet, but I do expect him to be right there as well.
What did you just say?
Coaches Paul hasn't come out yet,
Oh.
but I do anticipate them being right there as well.
All right, Coach. First initial thoughts on when you guys look at the film at Texas. What do they do well? What's a couple of things you guys need to put a hold to right away?
Yeah, they clearly crash the boards really, really well. I mean, I think they lead the nation and they lead the Big 12 for sure in offensive rebounding. And so that's going to be a huge point of emphasis for us, and that's been a struggle for us as well. But our physicality is going to have to be elite, and we're going to need to use a lot of different people to provide that physicality for us. And so we really need a group effort on the boards. They're athletic, and of course they always run the pressure man. So we've got to have some poise about us. We've got to execute our offense through adversity. We're going to get hit, we're going to get pulled, we're going to get pushed, all those things, and we're going to have to just stand our ground and be able to fight through that and still be tough and execute on offense.
And then going off of that too, Texas, they're average of close to 40 points in the paint. Y'all are 10-0 when you score at least 30 points in the paint. So I guess for you guys, when you're thinking about that offensive strategy and also defensively too, how much of a battle will it be in the paint on both ends tomorrow night?
Yeah, the paint is definitely an issue as far as defensively. We're going to have to keep them out of there, whether that's second chance points, whether it's Harmon penetrating, and getting to the paint. She does such a good job of that. We're just going to have to do a fantastic job of clogging that up and keeping the ball out of there. And then offensively for us, we got to find ways to attack it, and we don't want to attack it with their bigs inside there. So we're going to have to, move the bigs out, and we're going to have to knock down some shots from the perimeter to get them out of there a little bit, and still be aggressive though, and get both feet in the paint as many times as we can.
Mm-hmm. And then tomorrow night, Ashley, she was there last year, coming this year. I guess for her, what you've seen her grow in the past couple of games too, like giving you guys good minutes, just kind of talk about her and what she brings to this team.
Yeah, I think Ashley has done a really good job of being patient with us, with our system, and with herself on just trying to find her role and how she can really help and impact our team. I think she puts a lot of pressure on herself just individually because she's a really hard worker and wants to perform well and wants to help her team. But I think she's understanding how to control our offense a little bit better and to help people find ways to score and to distribute the basketball in that manner. And then defensively, of how to use her quickness and her tenacity on defense without fouling to give us a spark. I think she gives us definitely a spark of energy when she comes on the bench and comes in the game off the bench, and especially when she has a presence on the ball. We need ball pressure, and I think she provides a good dose of that for people. But I've just been really proud of just her, her attitude and her effort and her, like I said, her patience of just trying to find her way here.
Whether as a player or a coach, you're no stranger to what this rivalry means to Texas Tech. How do you rein in emotions going into a big rivalry game like this?
Yeah, we've been talking about that the past couple of days with our team because it's something different for everybody. I mean, everybody has a different mindset when it comes to Texas and different things that maybe ignite their enthusiasm and that rivalry spirit. But it's just about us, really. It's about us playing our game, us understanding what our mission is and our goal, and we've somehow got to go. You've got to ramp up your intensity level, and obviously you're going to have some great adrenaline, but you've got to control your emotions and make sure that that you stay focused on it's a game, right? And it's a Big 12 game that we really need to win at home, and it's a battle. So it doesn't matter who we go into battle with. We need to go to war and be ready to fight. And just so happens it's UT this week and on Wednesday, but I think even for me, it's a game and a team that we've played against for years. I remember when I first came to Texas Tech and the Longhorns came to town, they were so good and won the Southwest Conference just year in and year out. And there would be more fans. That would be our biggest crowd every time we played them, but it would be more fans for UT than for the Lady Raiders. And that quickly changed, in a couple of years after we got here and started playing and winning and doing Lady Raider things. But I expect us to have a great crowd tomorrow. I think that there'll be a lot of great energy in the in the arena. And I think that, that our kids are really be amped up, ready to play. And I'm just so glad to see that, it's different now from when I first walked on campus. And it's even different now than I first walked on campus again, a couple of years ago, that when we go in to play them, we have a great opportunity in front of us to beat, I guess, a top 25 team and to position ourselves in the Big 12, with another win and to just, you just never know when this is the last time you're going to get to play Texas with them exiting the conference. So it's a big game. We're excited about it, but it doesn't matter who we're playing on Wednesday. We need to get a home conference win.
Of course, and one of the players on Texas, of course, Hadi Faye. Being a part of your program last year, what have you seen maybe new in her game this year when you guys are watching her on tape?
She's a fantastic player. We knew that when she was here. She's grown and matured. She's very strong on the offensive glass. She was that for us as well. And I just, we're going to have to keep her off the glass. We know that she's athletic and can run the floor, but she's pretty tenacious on the glass. So we'll have to do a good job of keeping her off.
And then with how hot Breamber Scott's been these past couple of games and Vic knowing her so well, having coached her before, how do you expect them to hone in on her, and how are you preparing to maybe not have her maybe have that big 37-point performance?
Yeah. She's going to draw a lot of attention. She already has been, but I just am so proud of the way she's playing within herself. I don't think she was so efficient against K-State. I didn't think she took any bad shots. I thought that she was very selective in her shots and therefore was successful. And I think she'll continue to be that way. They'll have to figure out how they're going to keep her from getting to the free throw line and getting her shot off. She can score at all three levels and does a really good job of that. And I think that we've got people around her that can also step up, that when and if they double her or they hone in on her and give her a lot of attention, I think we have some other kids that will do a great job of stepping up and filling that void.
Coach, you have just a quick injury update on Bailey Maupin. I know she kind of went down there in that second quarter.
Yeah, she's still game to game. We got some good news yesterday, and we feel like that she'll be back for sure. But she'll have to go through a little bit of rehab. So it'll always be a game to game decision for her moving forward.
And then going back to Breamber Scott, she had a season high last year against Texas. You got to come up in those big games, and she very well did. But Jazz Shaver's also a very good game last week. Those two combined 63 of your 85 points right there. Can you kind of talk to those two and is the game kind of have to get bigger for those two tomorrow as far as shot taking, or the ball really well distributed?
Yeah, I think that we just found them, really well against K-State. I think that we had several people that we have several people that can step up. We've seen that. We've had different scorers throughout the season, and I think that just happened to be their night. They were both in a really good rhythm. I would say our whole team was in a really good rhythm against K-State, and the ball seems to find those people. I also think that our other players are really figuring out who's hot. Because like I said, it can be somebody different. We might have a mismatch in the post, right? We might have, Riley might be the one that's coming off screens that's open. And I think that our guards, but particularly all of our players, are figuring out how to get the basketball to our scorers in really good situations, and finding them when they're open, because I think it is about timing. It's about, getting it to them when they can get their shot off. Jasmine Shaver shot the ball from the three really well because we were able to move it around, and we made the extra pass to find her because she had the hot hand that night. So I think both of those kids need to continue to step up for us to be successful. It's a lot easier, obviously, when they do, but I think that also turns to our other girls on the team have to do their role and set good screens, deliver the pass, handle the pressure, and then they've got to knock down some shots when they're open as well.
Coach, with her performance on Saturday, do you feel like Kyla earned some more playing time? That was kind of her longest playing in the conference so far this season.
Yeah, we made a decision a week ago, that we needed some more rebounding, and Kyla has definitely progressed through practice time, and the game is becoming more familiar with her. She's understanding the physicality that she has to play with, but she also just gave us, it was a matchup issue, right? Not an issue, it was a matchup for us with with respect to our bigs versus Kyla against K-State, we needed somebody that could really run the floor and that could guard on the perimeter. And I thought that Kyla just took advantage of the opportunity that she had. The Texas game might be a little bit tougher for her because they're so big and physical inside. We're going to need to rely on Ella and Big Jazz to be able to provide some of that physicalness for us. But Kyla's still going to be able to do some things for us that she can that are her strengths. It's just about putting them in situations to be successful. And I was really proud of her for taking advantage of the minutes that she got, and that's definitely how you continue to get more minutes.
And you mentioned Rory Harmon a little bit, but just how crucial is she to what Texas is able to do on offense?
Yeah, I think she's the key. I think, she had such a great year last year, and I have so much respect for her and how she plays the game. But we definitely have to limit her touches. We have to figure out how to get the ball out of her hands and not let her get to the sweet spot. And she definitely has a sweet spot. So, if we can do that and make them have to make extra passes or not let her get going in transition, different things like that, I think that will disrupt them a little bit, but that is definitely easier said than done.
And you talked about it a little bit, but just as a player, what are some of the things you remember about the matchup with UT?
Yeah, it's always a battle. It's always an intense battle. Some of my favorite moments as a player were against UT, and some of my biggest heartbreaks were against UT as well. And so I think that that's what every Lady Raider, and I would say every Longhorn goes through, through this program, is that when this matchup, it's just been such a great rivalry. I mean, back to Jody Conrad and Marsha Sharp and the teams that they put on the floor, and I think now we're getting to a spot where I guess we're, since Coach Schaefer and I have both been at Texas and Texas Tech, I believe it's 2-2, so we're having those same types of intense rivalries. And I think that's important. I think that's important for the game. I think it's important for our conference. And I think it's fantastic for the state of Texas. So, looking for a great fight tomorrow.
Obviously, the rivalry is there. You're back home. It's always great to be back home. But with the success on the road, back-to-back road wins for the first time since the 2013 season, is that kind of success transpiring back here to home just kind of exemplify everything?
Right, we hope so. And of course, I've been looking at all those things as well and thinking, do we need to make this a road game, somehow in our kids' minds. But I know our kids love playing in front of their fans, and they play so hard, and they want to get those wins. And we haven't been able to do that in conference yet on our home floor. So hopefully tomorrow they will bring that road warrior mentality with them that they've had and really take the challenge of just using the crowd to their advantage and to taking a lot of pride in defending their home court.
Anything else, guys? All right.
Thank you, guys.